Hello everyone and welcome back. In the next couple of episodes, we are gonna implement the collision detection system. And for this episode, we will start with circles. Circle collision detection. This is actually pretty easy, but I'm gonna explain to you how I'm gonna explain in more detail how that's working. Okay. Um, First, I'd say we can command that rectangle, comment that rectangle and that polygon, and we are creating a new circle. I call this test circle A and B. This one's gonna have it's gonna be at position 300. I'm gonna change that too. There we go. Okay, and now of course we need to comment these out and add the test circle B here too. Don't forget to rewrite that. And then also we need to change this too, so we can move both circles around and rotate. Well, rotation is not that important, but the movement. Now I'm gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna press Alt and Shift to mark like a rectangle, and then I'm gonna press Control and paste, and then all the circle A's are replaced. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the circle B. So Shift and Alt again. Oh, Shift and Alt. Did I did that right? So let's see. Okay. Yeah, it seems it doesn't work all the time. Ah, okay. I guess now I know. Alright, there we go. Okay, so good. Then let's jump back to the browser and see if it's still working. That looks good. Okay. Cool. Well, that's moving. The other one moving too. Now we can implement the actual collision detection. For this, I'm gonna create a new file in the engine folder, and I'm gonna not in the utils folder, in the engine folder, and I'm gonna call this one simply collision detection.js, and this class is also named collision detection. Collision detection. And this one is gonna have a static method, which is called circle versus circle. And in the first parameter, we're gonna pass in shape circle A. Yeah, I wrote that wrong. Shape circle A and shape circle B. Excuse me. And then we're gonna get the centroids of every circle. So I'm going to call that centroid A is equals to shape circle A dot get centroid. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that I wrote that method right. Okay, I don't have that method now or yet. So I'm just gonna create that method too. I mean, of course, you can just say you can do something like this. It's gonna work too, but I'm gonna do it like this one. Yeah, like this time. But you're gonna see me mix these two approaches. Okay, so I'm gonna create the method for getCentroid. Let's just return this centroid. That's it. Okay. Back to the collision detection. In this one, we need same for this for the other circle. So just make sure everything is written correctly. And then we're gonna need the direction to one circle to the other. And this time it's not important in which direction the vector is pointing to. So you can do something like this, or the other way around, like centroid B and centroid A, or like now what we have there. But only for the collision detection. So if there's a collision, then you can do something like this. If you wanna push the circle out of the other one, then it's gonna be important, because then you might have to multiply something with -1 if you don't get the right result. But we're gonna get there in the next couple of episodes. Okay, then we're gonna get the radius, circle a radius, and I'm creating that method too, the getRadius method. And we need the same for the other one. Okay. Then I'm going to create the radius method for the circle. And let's just simply getRadius, return this .radius. Cool. Okay. And then we can actually now check if there's a collision happening. And if it is, then we're gonna return true or false. So let's check that. If the length of the direction is smaller than the circle radius A plus the circle radius B. And I'm gonna explain that in a short second. What is happening there? I'm just gonna return true or false. There we go. Okay. And now we can go back to the simulation. And yeah, I will comment these things out. And I'm gonna say the result is equal to the collision detection, dot circle versus circle. And I'm gonna pass in, this dot test circle A and this dot test circle B. Okay, and then if the result is true, then we're gonna set the color of this circle A, set color, and I need to create that method too. I'm gonna set that one to red, the other one too. Circle B, okay. And if there's no collision, I'm gonna set the color back to black. Okay, and now it's probably not gonna work because yeah, I forgot to add the set color method, right? Um, just add into the shape a set color method. Like this one, and then just set the color. This dot color is equal to the color. Okay, and now we can try and see if that's working. I'm gonna switch to the browser. Don't forget to save every file and refresh. And there we go. We have an error. Collision detection is not defined. And I made a spelling error there. Yeah, collision detection with one S. And let's see. Collision detection, okay, it should be right. And of course, I need to import that script too. So I'm just gonna add that. And I think it's not in the folder, so we can call it just like this, and then it should hopefully work. Yeah, I forgot to switch to the IDE. I just added the import thing to the main HTML. And I also changed the name. I made a small spelling error in here too. Okay. Then I'm gonna switch back to the browser. I saved everything, I guess. Okay, it still have an error. Yeah, I'm gonna look where the error is located, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, I found the error. I needed to change the name of the class too. It also had a spelling error. I changed it already, and now we can go back to the browser and check if it's working, and it does now. But we have a small problem, and that's the circles are not changing its color when it's a collision. And yeah, and I found out that in the shape class we setting the color, but we're not using that. So I'm gonna just replace that black here with this dot color, and then it should work. The draw point, I'm gonna well, let's change the two. Okay, so now it should work. I'm gonna refresh. Yeah, I changed this dot color in here in the draw method, in the shape, and then it should work. So let's refresh, and now it's not the exact thing what I wanted to have, but it's working. The collision is detected. And the reason why it's not exactly the thing what I wanted is that we need to change in the circle class, this black one here too. So I'm gonna just call it this dot color, and now it should work. And there we go. We have a collision detection between circles. Awesome. So how is that working now? Well, it's pretty simple actually. In the collision detection file, we say that we want a direction between this point and this point, okay? And then we are getting the radius of this circle and the radius of this circle. And now we have two values. The radiuses of, or the radii, is that the plural of radius? I don't know. Well, anyway, we just compare the distance between the centers and the distance of the radius and the sum of the radius of both circles. So, for example, if I do like this, do something like this, the radius, both the radius, the sum of this one and this one radius, are the same as the distance between the center point and the other center point. And when I move the circle now inside it, the sum of the two radiuses is bigger than the length of the two center points. Okay, and that's what we did here. Only the other way around is if the length of the two center, or the distance between the two center points, is smaller than the radius of the two circles, the summation, then there's a collision happening. And to make sure our two circles have now the same radius, I'm going to change the first one to a radius of 100, so we can check if that's still working. And it should. There we go. Okay, we're just making the sum of this radius and this radius. Making the sum, and then we're gonna compare these two, this sum with the distance of the two centroids. And if the centroid, and if the distance of the centroids is smaller than the summation of the two radius, then there's a collision. Okay. And actually, this is one of the moments where we can optimize this one, because in the collision detection, we're using that length method. And in the length method, when we recall the math helper function, no, I think it was the vector function, yes. We go back to the vector function and see the length. We are using the math square root for the length, for the distance. I said earlier that we can also use the length too, and we are gonna try this now. Okay, for this one, I'm just gonna copy that, because I'm gonna uncomment one or the other one, just for simplicity reasons. Okay, for this one, I'm just saying I want to compare the directional length or the squared length, and then I need to. I think it's. I need to make something like this. Multiply the radius with themselves. Then I'm gonna save and go back to the browser. Okay, that doesn't work. Then it's the other way around. I'm always confusing this one, so I'm just saying some radius, and I say circle A plus circle B, and I'm gonna multiply that by itself, and then this should work. And there we go. We optimized the length check. Awesome. I mean, of course, that's only really taking an effect if you have just a bunch of circles and checking for the distance. Then that's going to be important. I don't think in this course that I'm gonna have that much circles, so I'm just gonna leave both of the methods in the code for you. You can decide which one you want to use. But later on, when we want to push our circles out of each other, then we're gonna need the length method anyways. So maybe it's a thing for you to optimize that if you want to. Yeah, I'm gonna uncomment the other method for the collision detection and leave it like this. Okay, that's the collision part for the circles. In the next episode, we will create a so-called collision manifold. A collision manifold is basically something where to store information about the collision, like depth, penetration point, and the normal. And yeah, and then in the next part, we're also gonna push the circles apart. All right. I hope that was pretty clear what I explained. Just leave a feedback if you have something in mind, and yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye.